All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, excited to be talking to an individual set to headline BKFC 33, which transpires on November the 18th. We've got Houston Alexander knuckling up and towing the line with Joey Beltran, and happy to be talking to Joey on the show as always. How's it going there, man? You having a good, solid day so far?
Yeah, everything is going good. Just had training in the morning over at KO Zone in Miami with Ryan Perez and that whole crew, and now me and my wife are just running some errands, doing life.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious where you're mostly at nowadays. You kind of mentioned Miami there, but it also seems like some great work has been had in Puerto Rico. And one of the last times we talked, you were talking about training in Virginia. Are you doing a bit of cross training for this one, or is there a main space you've been working at mostly?
Well, I mean, generally our life is kind of, we just kind of bounce all over the place: Virginia, Puerto Rico, Miami, and so California. But no, definitely dropped my anchors here in Miami. I've been here for almost 2 weeks. We're going to be here till the end of camp.
Yeah, and I was excited seeing this fight get announced there and everything like that, just because, a bit of competitive history there, which I'll get into a bit later. I mean, a high-octane looking fight on paper, and also a bit of a switch in weight division. When did you kind of have it on your mind to, navigate a move to 205 pounds? Was it, a byproduct of, a bout offer coming your way for that weight category, or was this, something you were kind of navigating a little bit anyway?
No, man. I mean, I'm always right around 235, 240, just literally just eating and doing whatever I want. I obviously always have good cardio. I'm always in shape. I always work hard, but yeah, no real guidance as far as my nutrition. So, it was made clear to me that the heavyweight scene is a little jumbled right now, and it's just more opportunities, and it made more sense for me to make the drop. So that's what presented to me about, I would say, a month ago or so. And so, yeah. So I was like, yeah, it's no problem. It's easy, man. I fought those 185.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, I ate and MMA, so it's like, I know how to do it. So it was not a big issue.
Yeah, it didn't strike me as something that would require a lot of amendments from your usual training preparation, but I guess just exciting in the sense of a whole crop of new opponents and everything like that. I mean, you were the defending heavyweight champion there, and you mentioned the division kind of in a state of disarray now. I would feel like there's a level of excitement getting into a division where there's a whole crop of new challenges, even pursuing a new title down the line too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I've mentioned kind of a bit before, you have a bit of competitive history with your opponent here. I noticed you guys fought back in 2010 there, albeit in MMA and everything like that. Are you looking at it as a contest where there is a degree of familiarity, or is it a brand new kind of landscape just with it being a different combat sport?
I mean, obviously it's a different, it's a totally different landscape, totally different sport, but it's all good. It is a little bit of I'm not going to lie, there's a little bit of mental edge. We already got somebody's number, and, yeah. But, I'm definitely not underestimating him. He's coming off 2 devastating knockouts, and I'm coming off 2 losses, so shit. I mean, I would probably say he's the guy that would see some people would view as the favorite, and it's like, oh, he's a little older, yeah, so am I, it's all good. This is a straight-up fist fight, so, obviously with referees and rules, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if we met in an alley somewhere, it's going to be a good fight. So, I'm excited for it. I'm definitely working my ass off and get ready for it.
Yeah, it seems like you were acutely aware of him heading into this fight even before the bout offer, just as you said, back-to-back first-round finishes. I would think a part of this is just like making a new splash in a new division. Like I would think if you garnered a victory over someone who has momentum like this, it would like assert you as a contender, or at the very least like just outside of the top 5. Is that kind of part of the motivation for this one as well? Like, do you think there's that upward mobility to this fight possibly?
Yeah, I mean, I look at the big picture. Putting you there to make a big splash and all that good stuff. But also too, it's like I also see the light at the end of the tunnel, and so for me at my stage, like I give them props, I give them mad respect, but point blank period, I don't want to fucking be fighting when I'm 50. I want to be chilling with my kids and like in Virginia, relaxing. So I definitely like. It's a little different mindset for me. I'm definitely just want to get the fucking knockout, end this fight emphatically, in emphatic fashion, and then we'll see from there.
Yeah, for sure. And some of your preparations were kind of touched on there. I was noticing you were getting in that work with BKFC cheat code, and when I talked with Britain ahead of her last fight, she was really talking about the quality of work had there, and I saw you hashtagged old dog new tricks. I mean, that must be really exciting for you, just having been involved in combat sports for so long, just getting to add even more wrinkles to your game.
I mean, that right there, I mean, I have to give 100% props to Britain for taking me there, because me and Ryan, like, we didn't really get off. Because I mean, he said his opinion about me. And we expressed to ourselves face to face. There was no shit talking behind back. But ever since then, when I first went, the first training session I was like, oh my god, I love it here. And it's just been momentum, and me and him were just like, our relationship's growing. I love it's like El Gallo and HD and Jared and Jeremy Pitbull, Danielle Pitbull, so it's like I love the whole squad. It's an awesome environment, and I'm really flourishing. And it really is, like it's not just a clever hashtag. It's like these old dogs learning some new tricks, and I'm excited to go out there and fucking put on a show.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it seemed like a great moment for you, just getting to, see Britain rise up and become a world champion in her own right. That must have been a cool part of both of your journeys there. Like, she's been there for some big championship moments you've had in BKFC. Like, how did it feel being there when she got her belt wrapped around her waist? It must have been huge.
Oh, yeah, man. It was definitely huge moment. Because like I've watched her. I've been with her literally every day since before the Jenny Savage fight, and watched the amount of effort and work ethic, like unparalleled work ethic that she puts on, and I know how much it means to her, and I know what that moment meant to her. Like, and that's what I remember. I had a conversation before. I was like, I can't wait for you to have that fucking moment when you finally take a deep breath and you get the belt put on your waist, and you're like, fuck, like, I did it. Like, all these years and all these heartaches and all these sacrifices finally accumulated to this. And like, I remember when it happened to me, and I was like, I can't wait for you to have that moment. So it was really awesome. Yeah, it was definitely an awesome moment.
Yeah, well, I love hearing that too, man. When I talked to Britain, we were also talking about like the fun you guys seem to have doing, Southland bounty hunters. Like, what was your experience like doing the Southland bounty hunters? Did you have a fun time with that?
What was that? I'm sorry?
The Southland bounty hunters there. I noticed you and Britain did that and seemed to have some fun.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that's funny how that came up. Like, so my friend is actually one of the producers. He's from my friend from LA. He's one of the producers for the Southland bounty hunters. And he had asked me prior, like, a few months before, like, oh, about doing it. And I was like, I don't know. Britain really want to do it. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to get tased or anything. Like, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get fucking tased by these guys. And I just didn't want to get tased. And the Britain actually found an ad on Craigslist that was asking about. So we're like, so wait a minute, isn't this Vince's show? I was like, yeah, it is. And so then we had more conversations, and then finally my friend was like, all right, they really want you on the show. They promise they're not going to tase you. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. And then like it was an awesome experience.
Yeah, so the not getting tased part was the only conditional thing for you going on the show. Other than that, like everything was like smooth sailing.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, it's funny. It's like, it's other than that, like, they could have pepperballed me. Come to find out, like, when I was watching the show, I was like, damn, those motherfuckers are going to pepperball me. Like, they said they wouldn't tase me. They didn't say anything about the pepper spray or anything. So it could have gotten ugly, but it all worked out pretty fun. And afterwards, it was just like the camaraderie and like experience with the guys. It was really, really cool. I'm really, really happy that Britt pushed me to do it because I didn't want to. And also too, it was like literally a week before her fight, and so I was like, man, like what if she like jumps in or we literally like, fall on her ankle and roll an ankle or something like that. I was really, really nervous beforehand, but when it all went down, it was really, really fun.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense when you lay it out like that. I can kind of understand that whole timeline there. And I also liked seeing you guys kind of rocking the NWO shirts before your last fight there. That was too sweet, I thought.
You're breaking up.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I enjoyed you and Britton rocking the NWO shirts before your last fight. It was too sweet.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And but yeah, I know we usually kind of touch on pro wrestling, and recently seeing Jade Cargill come out with Lorenzo Hunt. Like, if you were to do an entrance like that, what pro wrestler nowadays, like from WWE, AEW, wherever, like who would you have come out with you for an entrance like that?
Well, he's no longer on the earth with us. Rest in peace. But I would have to kill Eddie Guerrero. He's definitely always one of my favorites. I remember like years and years ago, like watching those Gringos Locos with Eddie Guerrero and I can't remember somebody else, but they would come out with the American flag shorts that just totally piss off the crowd, and that's where I first experienced Eddie Guerrero. And then so when he popped up in WCW and all that stuff, like and then really caught fire in WWE with the Latino Heat angle, like. Yeah, man, he was always one of my favorites.
Yeah, that would be an electrifying entrance if something like that could happen. Like, you guys come out in the lowrider and do the whole bit.
Yeah, I love when he would do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely a fun time for sure. But something else I noticed on social media, it's not really a question so much, but I just thought it was kind of cool just being from Canada myself. You were shouting out when you fought Tim Hague a number of years ago there, and you were saying like the Montreal fans were the craziest fight fans in the world. So I just thought that was cool that you have that like fun kind of connection with the Canadian audience, and they received you so warmly there.
Yeah, they were nuts. Like I literally I was like my second fight in the UFC, so I was like second or third fight of the night. But I got ended quick, and I was walking around, and dude, I got mobbed in the bathroom, literally like taking a wee, taking a piss, turned around, and boom, I was just mobbed in the bathroom. It's a surreal experience.
Yeah, definitely some enthusiastic fight fans out here in my neck of the woods. So yeah, that's fun. But you've been great with your time, Joey. It's always fun getting to talk to you and have you on the show. But I also want to be mindful of your schedule and everything like that. So is there anything you might want to like add as a parting thought as we're kind of wrapping up, man?
No, I think we got it all. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. And this is going to be a very exciting fight with Houston Alexander, which people can check out November 18th at BKFC 33. And yeah, to reiterate, thanks for the time, man, and just looking forward to peeping the fight when it goes down, and just enjoy the rest of your day as well, Joey.
Awesome. Thank you so much.